Everybody, welcome to the show. Giveaway night 79 presents Tool Time episode 20. We have done 20 episodes of Tool Time, and if you wonder what Tool Time is, each week I talk about tools. Normally I come up with about 5. Lately we've been talking about brands, and we're at Sörbo week. So this week we'll be talking about 5 different Sörbo tools. I did choose 5 tools tonight that I have not used, so I can learn this week, like we did last week with Ed-Array, because I do use Sörbo and Ed-Array and Unger probably more than any other tools. It is really hard for me to try to find tools that I haven't used, but I try to find those tools because I do want you to know that I do not know everything. Quick disclaimer, I do not know everything. I want to learn. I hope that you're eager to learn tonight as we walk through these tools. So these tools, I am a huge Sörbo fan. If you did not know, I am a huge Sörbo fan. Okay, Sörbo is my favorite tools, and that's just how it's been since I started using Sörbo tools. Not everybody likes Sörbo tools, but I would say at least give it a shot and try it out if you have not. But all right, so let's go ahead and dig in a little bit tonight. I chose tools, like I said, that I have not used so that I can learn this week like we did last week. So make sure to add your feedback in the comments. That's what I'm expecting. I want you to tell me what your experience has been with these tools. There's a lot of window cleaners in here every single week, and I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear what you have to say. Let's see. Yeah, your feedback definitely matters, so make sure to put it in the comments right now for each tool. I have 2 different prize wheels tonight, selecting tools for you to win. Each week I will choose tools to talk about for educational purposes. And on every 5th show we will have a guest. We will have special guest Randy Teakin with Window Magic Supply. She is the owner of Window Magic Supply right there in Escondido, California, and she is who you see on the video on Off the Clock, and she's also the one that sponsored this show to where we get a bunch of these tools. You see all these tools over here to the side? She donates those tools to give to you guys every single week. So make sure to join us every Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time zone. All right, I hope everyone enjoys tonight's episode of Tool Time, but before we get into it, first let's see who's going to win the first prize tonight from Window Magic Supply. Congratulations to the third person. Congratulations to the third person to answer that correctly. Who do you see in the comments right now that answered that question correctly? You had to have spelled it correctly. That is a huge thing. So, and you can't just say rubber or T-bar or sleeve or anything like that. That is not an answer. We're looking for specific, like Golden Glove sleeve, like Ed-Array Soarin' rubber, Those would be specific questions that I'm looking for. And you don't have to put iterate in there, as you see that was the question. Now, you won the prize from Window Magic Supply, third person out there. Email your address to randy.teakin at windowmagicinc.com. I'm going to put that on the screen for you right now. Drag it down a little bit so you can see it. randy.teakin at windowmagicinc.com. Okay? I hope that you've had time to write that down, winner out there. And if not, you can always go back to the show afterwards. Go back to this spot right now. We're at 5 minutes and 40 seconds into the show. So you can go back and click that and make sure to email Randy what you won. And you can tell her that you won the Mowerman 2.0. Okay? The tool. What is it? The tool holder. Tool holder 2.0. Sorry. Not the Mowerman. It is a Mowerman, though. But anyway, so there is her email address. Hopefully you had time to get that down. If not, my email address is joshuathewindowcleaner@gmail.com. You can send me an email with your address, and I will get that over to Randy as well. So no worries if you don't remember to do that. You can also if it makes it easier, just email me, and I'll make sure that gets taken care of for you. You'll also get like a T-shirt and some goodies from Window Magic Supply. So I won't be able to show you that on here, so it'll be a surprise when you get it. So, yeah, thank you so much, Randy with Window Magic Supply, for giving away these tools each week. I'm very grateful, as are all of you who are winning tools out there. All right, let's get started on learning some tools tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about Sörbo products. We're going to talk about Sörbo tools. A little bit about Sörbo. Now, it's not even a little bit about Sörbo. I'm actually going to be reading an interview from Soren Samuelson, which is Sörbo, whatever everybody knows him as Sörbo. But this week I wanted to do something else that might be, it might make this show a little bit longer this time, but I want to read this interview with Sörbo from the American Window Cleaner magazine, which Jersey runs. So you're pretty familiar with that. You get the stickers from him and all that. Make sure to, if you don't get that, that's a great magazine, and it's very affordable. So I would say, I would highly recommend you try to jump on board with that. Get those stickers in every month. Super cool magazine for window cleaners. Now, I found this online, and I thought it would be fitting for my salute to Sörbo tools, or Sörbo products, if we're talking about the name, but the tools that we're going to be talking about tonight. So Soren Samuelson is his name. He is changing the way we clean windows. Now I'm going to read this, and then I'll say the question from American Window Cleaner magazine, and then we'll go from there. So, and I'll be calling them AWC. So I'll say AWC said. All right, cool. So he's changing the way we clean windows. Soren Samuelson is the founder of Sörbo Products. He has developed 4 products that are unique and are helping to revolutionize the window cleaning industry. A few years ago, if someone had told me that there was going to be a 48-inch squeegee developed, I would have expected to see it as part of a circus act, not a tool which could actually be used professionally. Likewise, this determination to make it possible to reuse rubber, that is, to shave off strips of rubber to create a new sharp edge rather than simply tossing it out, is nothing less than revolutionary. Soren is friendly and personable and on his way to becoming part of the American dream. This interview covers how Soren got started and where he is headed. All right. So AWC asked, how did you originally get into window cleaning? Sörbo said, it was luck. I wish I could do his accent because he's got a Swedish accent, but I can't. I'm not even going to try to attempt that on here because I think we would miss the whole point of his story, and it's a great story. So it was luck. I came over from Sweden in 1971 just to visit a friend of mine over in Palm Springs, California, and I was supposed to stay there for 8 months. I had enough money to actually live there without working for those 8 months at that time, of course. At 24 years old, you spend a little more than you think. So I asked my friend's father if he knew anybody who would be able to hire me, because I didn't have any papers or anything at that time, and he knew a window cleaner who had just fired a person. So we called him up and asked him, and he said, yeah, come on over. I'll teach you how to do it. And he did, and I worked for him for 3 years. The reason I quit was because the customers he had been cleaning windows for 15 years at that time, as long as I've been cleaning windows now, kept telling me, you do a lot better job than your foreman. Also, my bookkeeper noticed how much I earned, and I paid him 30% of my earnings because he sent me out by myself at the end of those 3 years. That's a pretty cool story. AWC said, what got you into inventing products? Sörbo said, that was when I started out on my own. I always tried to make the job more time efficient. Of course, number one was to do a good job for the customer. After a while, I noticed I could make a lot of money cleaning windows, but then came to a certain ceiling when I couldn't make any more. I could make at that time $160 to $100 a day by myself. I worked alone and hard. I ran instead of walked between windows. During those years, I always tried to figure out ways to save time that other people didn't even think about. When I had a pole, I moved it around with me everywhere, every window, so I didn't have to go back to windows to get some tool I had left there. When I was done with something, I just moved one way. Same thing inside the house. I followed the wall. That's exactly what I do. It's so funny. His story is so good. You never miss a window if you follow the wall. That's very true. That's what I did not know that said that in this interview, and that's so cool because that's how I train my employees. But anyways, same thing inside the house. I followed the wall. You never miss a window if you follow the wall around in every room. And you do everything. You vacuum, clean all the tracks first of sliding windows and doors, and then go back and go the same direction. But then I got a complex where they had Levier windows, and that was about 350 apartments. Nobody wanted those units. The guy I worked for before said I could have them because he didn't want them because they had 5 Leviers in each kitchen. They were maybe 3 feet high. Every time I did them, I thought there had to be an easier way to do this. All of a sudden, the idea came up just to take an Etere squeegee, flatten it in the middle, and bend it like a tongue. I adjusted it to the right angle so it gets the same pressure all across. I did it and it worked. I used that for years because at that time I couldn't afford to make a more refined version. That's pretty cool. So that's how he got into it. He was just trying to be more innovative. Super cool. AWC asked, for a while you were working as a technician, weren't you? Sörbo said, yeah, I was more like an installer. I installed machines for Germany for a steel factory and things like that. I worked for a company in southern Sweden where the office was, but we were traveling all over the whole country. We went to one factory and installed a few machines, and then we went to another place. We were probably 2-3 months in each place. I liked that job very much. That's where I actually learned how to read blueprints and put things together. It was a very interesting job. I got a lot of experience from there. And, of course, when I went to school, I learned how to read blueprints, too, before that. So it's pretty cool. This is like, I'm glad that I'm reading this. This is like some really cool insight on Sörbo. Just kind of see his personality. And if you ever get a chance to like talk to Sörbo or whatever, like such a cool guy. Like I got a picture right here. So when I went down, and I know if you've already been watching the show for a while, you already know this, but I went down and actually had a chance to meet with Sörbo. It was super cool, very humbling experience. We sat there and ate tacos and talked about how good God is. He's a believer. So we just clicked right away, and we started talking about what Scripture says and just how good God is and like how just we are sinners and we need him, and you know that's the only way to get into heaven, just all these things, and we just clicked right away. So we've talked over the phone several times. Such a great guy, and I love his tools. Like I told him I was like very impressed with the quality of your tools, man. It's like solid, like very solid tools. I really like them. All right, let's get back to the interview. Sorry, I got excited there as I'm getting to know him a little bit more through this interview. So AWC said, "Tell me the process of inventing from the beginning stages." So Sörbo said, you have to first think about competition. If they can make a tool cheaper and better than you can do it yourself, you have to think about the Japanese. If there's any way they can do it, the same job, and can make it cheaper than you could do it here, and market the product faster than anyone else. these are the things you have to work over before you even start to make your decision to manufacture a product. You do this, what you do is make prototypes. You try them and then make a blueprint. I've been lucky enough to make all my own blueprints, and I've probably made 3, 4, 5 blueprints for each part I design, because you have to reshape them and try them and put it together and take it apart and redo it, go over it many, many times to work the bugs out. When you get to the point where it is a product you think will work, you try it and work with it for a few weeks or so in the field, and you never seem to get all the bugs out. There's always something. We have our own employees testing the products, like my wife and the guys in our window cleaning company for a long, long time. They have been using the squeegee for a year and a half before we even introduced it to the public. Then we introduced that channel up at your window cleaner seminar in San Jose. That's when really the word came out that there was a new product around. That's when Mark Heckler tried it. When you saw it in the show up there, so he called me up and said that he tried that squeegee and was interested. He tried one, and then he bought all the products. AWC says, what inspired you to bother to make an invention that trims the rubber? Were you thinking of trying to create less waste? Sörbo said, one day when I was cleaning windows up in the Thunderbird Heights, the idea just came up. Why do you have to throw so much rubber away? It's a waste of material, I said. God, what a great idea. I thought about other things too, but this was something special. So I started working with that idea first because I thought it was special. I told my wife and I told this other guy that was working with me, and later I got a little afraid I shouldn't have told him. So that's pretty cool. AWC asked, tell us briefly about how you formulate your rubber. Sörbo said, yeah, that was as much luck, really, as anything. The thing that made it was that I didn't give up. And the guys who were making the rubber for me, they were mad at me all the time. They don't like me at all. They feel even sorrier that they made a mold for me. They wish someone else made that mold. I've been making at least 5 different mixes of rubbers. You got around 30,160 different mixes. You mix with natural rubber, you can never find out what will work. They can never find out because there's so many different mixes you can mix in it. I was just lucky, of course. I deal a lot with the chemist they've got, told them what I wanted, and I don't know anything about what the chemist mixes in his rubber. I told him this is what I want. So when we made the first try, it didn't come out good at all, and I didn't like it. The second, the fourth, and this took more than a year. We tried, and all of a sudden I said, this is what I want. This is great. It's nothing like Eteray's at all. It's different, but it's good. It works with my squeegee very well. And then, of course, I tried different stages. I had rubber left from each stage, so I knew the difference. I could feel it. I told the chemist to make 2 different types to see what people liked. That's why I ended up with 2 different hardnesses. That's pretty cool. AWC asked, you have your own cleaning business with 2 to 3 people working for you. You're constantly manufacturing tools and assembling them. Could you describe a typical day? Sörbo said, my days start the evening before I go to bed. What I do, I write on paper 6 or even 7 things I have to do the next day. During the night, I wake up a couple of times and find more things I have to write down. Not every night, but many nights. So I have a pad frequently right beside my bed. Last night, I wrote up 3 or 4 things I was thinking about. So when I wake up, I already know what to do that day. I just follow the list. A typical day would be I get up at 5:45 a.m., and the first thing I do is go to the office and start to write out the schedule for the people who are going to work that day. And then I'll call Europe if I need to, or call back east or Sweden. When I've got that done, I look at my schedule, and most of the time there's something I have going. I have to go to the workshop to do. I do most of it then, if I have time. I eat. I usually sit down and eat fast, and sometimes not at all. I eat when I have time. That's just about the day. I keep doing things all day. Before 4:30, I call all the customers for window cleaning and make appointments. And after I come, I continue with developing Sörbo products again until about 10 p.m. Then I go to bed. Sometimes I watch boxing. That's the only thing I watch on TV. Every day is like that. So that's pretty cool. Like, apparently Sörbo likes boxing. That's a pretty cool day, though. That's a good thing I was thinking about, like, as he was saying that. I'm like, that's actually a really good idea to have a notepad around you all the time and write down ideas, because there's so many ideas that come and go for me. So that's a really good idea. The next question was from AWS. It says, since our publication, what has been the curve of your business? Now, he started putting his ads in the window cleaner magazine. So that's what the American Window Cleaner magazine is asking right now. So since our publication, what has been the curve of your business? Sörbo said, that boosted it up tremendously. Without this magazine, it would probably take a couple of years before getting to where I am right now. Even more, I'm not that professional when it comes to figuring things out. But I know for sure it would be a couple of years, because it gets me out all over now. I get into the market that I want right away. Super cool. So if you're out there and you have products and everything, maybe you want to consider this magazine as a huge way to get your name out there. AWC also asked, what advice would you give someone with a good invention? Manufacture it yourself or getting a big manufacturer to develop it? Sörbo said, do it yourself. That way is best for me. I never took a chance that someone would steal an idea away from me. And because of the window cleaning business, I could afford to do this. When Winifred and I met, we had just $10. We couldn't even take a picture when we got married. Where we are right now, I guess that's his wife, Winifred. Where we are right now is all from the window cleaning. I always tried to be the best I can be in anything I've done. I've always been that way. I tried to do a perfect job. That's how I got, I believe, one of the best customers in the desert, because I am a perfectionist. So I got a solid, good business here. I find that during the year, I raised my prices a lot. When I started out, I had to go lower to get the jobs. People expected that from you when you're young, that you should do it cheaper, and other guys did it before. Then after that, when you build up enough customers, you can afford to lose a few and still be able to pay your payments for rent, house, and whatever you've got. We had a family, so I couldn't take too big of chances, but I worked it. But I worked it up so I had enough income so we could live all year around without having another job. Then I started to raise my prices. And of course, I lost a few customers, but they wouldn't have been around now anyway because they wouldn't pay for the job. There were some new customers after that. And then it was time to raise the prices again. Then I lost a few again. Actually, I got rid of all the bad customers I had in the beginning. I got rid of all the customers I had in the beginning, most of them. I've got new people completely. I haven't actually been working myself for many years. When we started to use the 36-inch squeegee, we noticed we could do another house a day on a crew of 2 people. $50 a house a day more. So that's around $25 easy on each person a day. That really proved to me that the products helped. Super cool. This is some great insight from Sörbo. All right, so the next question AWC asked was, what are some of the things that you worry about in the business field? And Sörbo said, I'm always worried. I'm always worried if I will fit in. Whatever I do, wherever I am, I'm always worried if I will be good enough. I think that's why I'm so good. I'm so good as I am at this thing that I'm doing, because I want to be the best. I think if I can make people happy around me, then I feel I did something good, then I feel good too. That's cool. It shows his character in that too. AWC asked, as a child, were you a tinkerer? A tinkerer. I guess a tinkerer is like somebody that, just messing around with stuff all the time, building things and just, tinkering with things, making things better and whatever. Sörbo said, I always did that because we were not very wealthy family. My dad was working on the railroad, and he was the type of person that when you start in a place, you stick with it until you die. You never change jobs. That's the way I grew up. I had that thinking as I grew up. A little bit older, I started thinking on my own. When I was a kid, I I never got the things other kids had, and I felt very bad about that. I had 10 brothers. Other guys got shotguns playing cowboys when you're a kid, and we never got that. So what I did was go into the hothouse where we had wood and made my own things. I made a shotgun myself, and I played with that. The only thing I got when I grew up was a bicycle. I still got it. It's still home in Sweden. I use it when I go over there. That way, it helped me to be handy because I had to make things myself. I had to figure out the way to make things so it looks like the other kids. AWC asked, did you go to college? Sörbo said, no, I just had high school. I went to car mechanic school and welding school in Sweden. AWC asked, how is your window cleaning customer relations? Sörbo said, informal. I never signed a contract with anybody. It's just by handshake. Come every month, go every month. What I always did was be there on time. I've never been late for a customer without calling them, and that might have happened 10 times in all of these years. I'm very tight when I schedule customers because I know how long it takes me and the people working for me to do a house. We never had a lunch break in 10 years in my company. We worked from 8 a.m. to 4:30, 5 or 6 p.m. We never had a break. We eat when we drive the car between the house. You have 10 minutes to eat between every house. I got used to this when I started working alone. I noticed that if I took lunch breaks, I would have to cut the time for a house in half at some place. I didn't want to do that. One reason was that I didn't want the customer to have me in the house for too long because they want the guy who comes to go in and out fast and have it done perfectly. So I never had a break myself. This includes all the many years I worked for myself alone. It was the worker's choice. I asked them if they want a lunch break, and they didn't want one. They got used to it too. They get tired all day and get more done and get to go home sometimes a little earlier. Yeah, that's illegal now. You cannot do that. You have to give them a break and you have to give them a lunch. So that might have been back in the day, but hopefully he's not doing that right now, which I don't think he is. I'm sure he knows the laws in California because he's in California and I'm in California. So I know all the laws when it comes to that, and you have to. You can't ask them. Like, you have to tell them they have to take a lunch, or what they'll do is they'll come back and you have all this back pay that you're supposed to pay them. And sometimes it's overtime because they're technically working overtime if they don't take a lunch. A lot of laws involved with that, so be careful on listening to that story. That's probably referring to a long time ago. Again, Sörbo has been cleaning windows for like 50 years. So this was probably, even 10 years ago, it probably wasn't as bad as the laws are now for California for employers. All right, so the next question from AWC. I don't want to keep wanting to say AWS. I don't know. AWC, how did you develop the Quadropod? Sörbo said, the Quadropod was very easy. I had problems with my back for a year and a half, a pinched nerve in my lower back. I started to figure out how many times you bend over when you do this work in a day. And I figured it out about 300 times or more. That's a lot. So I had to design a device where you don't have to bend, so other people don't get the same problem. It's a terrible problem. You can't sleep when you have this problem. I've been sleeping on plywood now for the last year. All I got in between is a sleeping bag, so it's hard. That's how I sleep now. I slept on the floor last night because I can't sleep in a bed. So one day I worked on a house on the outside. I saw one of those flower stands made of just steel wire that's big, 1/8 of an inch, just a round ring with 4 legs on it. And the things fit in my buckets. I put my bucket on the top of that thing, and I said, look at this. This looks pretty good. But it was very wobbly. I took the idea home and I developed it into a 3-leg thing where you lift up and can walk in between furniture without getting stuck. You can pass any type of furniture. That's pretty cool. I have not used one of those. We're actually going to talk about that tool on Tool Time. We're also going to talk about the thing that trims the Docket, the thing that trims the rubber. That's going to be really cool. We're going to talk about these tools tonight, so it's pretty cool that we're going to be talking about a lot of these tools that we're talking about here in this interview. AWC asked, what changes have happened lately? Sörbo said, what we've been up to is adding wheels to the Quadropod since people were requesting us to do that. In the past year, we have been able to reduce our squeegee and docket price 20%, making contacts by going to trade shows, including the BSCAI's in in New Orleans and the window cleaning show in Lubbock, Texas. We've been getting phone calls from all over the country from window cleaners who have said they have saved 25% in time using the big squeegees. That is definitely right. I use a 36-inch, and it is my favorite squeegee. So, but I use it for mainly commercials and big pieces of glass. If I go into a residential home, I'm going to use a 14-inch or an 18-inch. It's just me. Just because the 36 isn't necessary unless you're doing the big doors. You can't use a 36 on residential homes, but commercial storefronts, you can knock them out fast. And that squeegee is solid all the way across. It doesn't leave any streaks or anything. That's what I liked about it. But anyways, we've developed new clips to put on the side of the Quadropod. We call them workstations now. You can keep everything on the Quadropod that you need when you clean windows, including an air pump to blow out debris inside of the track window or door before you wet the window. And we're coming out with a more economical version of the Sörbo 3x4 squeegee. It'll be without the black color, just have the natural color of aluminum. The retail price for an 18-inch channel, for example, would be around $5.50 to $6, which is a dramatic reduction in price. That's pretty interesting. I don't know any 18-inch channel that is that price from Sörbo. Most of them are a little bit more expensive than that. But so don't hold me to that price. I don't know how long ago this interview was, but hey. Anyways, AWC. Well, that's important news. In that bracket, you certainly will become more competitive. To conclude, what keeps you going? Sörbo said. The window cleaning business is such a beautiful profession. Everyone who is a window cleaner knows how free you are when you clean windows. What I want to see is the window cleaner making more money without having to work hard. That's why I'm trying to develop products to make it less work. AWC says, thank you so much, Soren, for the interview and for all you are doing to help the profession. And that is a great interview from the American Window Cleaner magazine. I'm very grateful that they did that interview. I don't believe Sörbo would come on the show. I'm not sure if he has a computer and Skype and all the things that go with all that. And I would literally have to get him in my house to do that. And he works a lot, as you see. He's got his little notepad and he's doing a lot of work. So might not be an option for him to ever be on the show. But this is a way for you to get to know him. And I thought, what a better way to do it than on Sörbo Week for Tool Time before we start talking about all the tools. Now you get to see the tools that he designed, that he came up with, and you see the personable side of Sörbo. So I'm very grateful for Sörbo and all your hard work your whole life and just being dedicated to window cleaning. Super, super cool. Now the first tool on Tool Time tonight is the Sörbo Quadropod Complete Set. So let me pull that up for you real quick. Let's see. Perfect. All right. So the first Sörbo tool I want to talk about tonight on Tool Time is the Sörbo Quadropod Complete. Sörbo, and I'm reading this description from WCR. Shout out to WCR for having all this information. It's very good information for each tool. They spend a lot of time, and they're dedicated to the industry. So I'm reading this from WCR, so shout out to windowcleaner.com. For this description. You can also go down in the link below, look in the description, and you can find, go all the way down to the bottom, and it'll show you all the tools that we talked about tonight. You can go and click on the description if you missed something, if you wanted to take notes on it, if you thought it was a cool tool, you just want to write it down so you can go check it out. You can also buy it from the channel, and that helps the channel thrive as well. It helps me be able to pay for boxes, tape, stuff like that, for shipping out all these giveaway stuff. So you can also buy from the link down below. All right, so Sörbo made this unique bucket stand when he realized what strain he was putting on his back. While constantly bending down to reach his bucket, I'm sorry, let me start over. Sörbo made this unique bucket stand when he realized what strain he was putting on his back, while constantly bending down to reach his bucket. Roll this quadropod around with you and stop carrying traditional buckets. The 3 legs that support the bucket extend and retract automatically. You don't have to worry about fussing with the tripod whenever you move. It just opens when the center bar touches the ground. Use the handle in the bucket for easy carrying. It connects to the stand with 2 quick-release locking clips. There are 4 convenient hooks and places for storing your tools on the stand. The rim of the round bucket is 30.5 inches off the ground. The bucket can hold up to 3 gallons. This set includes the Quadropod stand and bucket. Works best indoors. Pretty cool. It includes stand and the bucket. Stop bending over. This is product highlights. It includes stand and bucket. Stop bending over to wet your washer. That's funny to see. Stop bending over to wet your washer. Anyways, automatic retracting legs, 4 tool holders, rim measures 30.5 off the ground. Great for indoor work, holds 3 gallons of water. I have not tried this tool out, but it looks like it would be awesome for the right job. And when I looked at this tool, I would not think that was something that you would be able to bring inside that was designed to go inside. Super cool tool. If you've tried this tool, I would love to hear your feedback in the comments right now. Please share with everybody what your experience has been. Okay? All right, the next tool I want to talk about on Tool Time tonight is the Sörbo leaf cart frame with wheels. So this is just the frame, not including the bucket. We've already talked about those 6-gallon buckets. Sörbo has one specifically designed for this, but any one of the 6-gallon buckets should be able to work. All right. About the Sörbo leaf cart frame with wheels. Sörbo leaf cart securely holds your window cleaning bucket while rolling over smooth and rough surfaces alike. The leaf cart holds the bucket at 2 points under the handle, allowing it to swing freely, keeping water from sloshing out of the bucket, helping to eliminate the strain of moving your bucket dozens or hundreds of times throughout the day. The leaf cart allows you to move your buckets without even bending. When you start pushing or stop pulling a bucket on traditional casters, the water inside sloshes from side to side and front to back, often spilling potential, creating a hazard on slick surfaces. The bucket in the leaf cart keeps moving with the water, so nothing is spilled. That is super cool. The leaf cart fits Sörbo and Pull-X rectangular window cleaning buckets only. So I was wrong on that. I guess you can't buy like the Eterray one. So you make sure to get the Pull-X one or the Sörbo one. Okay, I have not used this tool, but it seems like a great idea. If you use the same style bucket, I use the 6-gallon rectangle buckets. I would recommend getting the actual Sörbo bucket for this cart. Have you used this tool? I would love to hear your feedback in the comments right now. Okay. All right, the third Sörbo tool tonight on Tool Time is the Sörbo 18-inch 3X Multi-Squeegee Complete. Okay. The Sörbo 18-inch 3X Multi-Squeegee is one-of-a-kind tool developed by the godfather of the wide-body squeegee himself, solving the window cleaner's plight of squeegee French pains. This tool expedites this once tedious task into one swipe situation. The specialty squeegee features a classic 18-inch Sörbo aluminum main channel with 3 5-inch or 6-inch channels attached to it. There are also detachable knobs and end protectors if you want to slide in a rubber and utilize the 18-inch channel by itself. That's pretty cool. The versatile tool is also lightweight, so you can use it all day long with minimum stress on your hands and wrist. This complete squeegee comes equipped with the Sörbo swivel squeegee handle, which allows you to work at alternate angles if needed. Say goodbye to tedious cleaning and hello to the Sörbo 18-inch 3X Multi-Squeegee Complete. Specialty squeegee includes Sörbo 5-inch or 6-inch multi-channels ×3, Sörbo 18-inch main channel ×3, and Sörbo swivel squeegee handle. Product highlights: quick release handle for fast channel swapping, improved efficiency while cleaning French windows, cleans 3 small window panes simultaneously, and it is a very unique design. I have not used this tool, but when I saw it, I thought, wow, that's impressive. If you have used this tool, please let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. I have seen this one not in person, but I have seen it just scrolling by. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Didn't realize, I actually thought it was a mop. I thought it was like 3 6-inch mops because just scrolling by looking at the pictures or whatever. But that is not the case. It's actually 3 squeegees, and it's for French pains. That's a great idea. Like, oh my goodness, like you can just, and I think they have them where there's 2 as well, so they have like different ones. But yeah, so super cool tool there by Sörbo. I have not used this tool, but when I saw it, I thought, wow, that's impressive. If you have used this tool, please let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Now, the 4th Sörbo tool that I want to talk about on Tool Time tonight is the Sörbo Docket Squeegee Sharpener, 36-inch. Okay. Let me get that pulled up there. There we go. Okay. So here is the Docket. As you see, I'll try to make it as big as possible just for a few minutes. As you can see what that thing looks like. That thing looks really cool. Crazy how he came up with that. Okay. Moving everything around over here. Messing it up because it's wide. I should have done it up and down. Anyways, let's talk about the Sörbo Docket Squeegee Sharpener. When your squeegee blade starts to get dull, you can recut them so they have a nice sharp edge again. Get the most out of your squeegee blade rubbers with the Sörbo Docket Squeegee Sharpener. This revolutionary product gives you a precise edge each time you cut your squeegee blades. Sörbo Samuelson is an inventor extraordinaire, known for crafting tools that solve common window cleaning problems to make the process easier and time-saving. Being a fellow window cleaner himself, Sörbo knew time was a precious resource, so he tried to look for different methods to improve his work efficiency. Sörbo is most known in the glass window cleaning industry for creating the adjustable 3x4 squeegee blade system. With this new model, he has paved the way to create versatile tools that could perform any task and give the glass cleaner more control over its features. He invented an adjustable design that made the squeegee rubber blade trimmable a maximum of 12 times before needing to be discarded, making each one you buy more cost effective. Only Sörbo's blade design, which uses multiple indentations, allows for this many trimmings. Most other squeegees on the market only use one indentation, so it's impossible to trim them with the Docket. Using a dull rubber blade can hinder your performance, which makes your job a lot harder and more time-consuming. Trimming your squeegee blades with the Docket sharpener from Sörbo keeps the edges sharp and straight for a streak-free clean. Grooves in the Docket channel let you reposition the blade each time you sharpen, so it keeps the right level of firmness or optimum performance. Aside from the obvious benefit of saving you money, the Docket Squeegee Sharpener effectively reduces your carbon footprint by extending the rubber's usability while retaining its original efficiency. Using the Docket by Sörbo Squeegee Sharpener, tips and tricks. Okay, so if you actually have this Docket and you've never read the description, or you just want to get refamiliar with it, here's some cool tips and tricks that they wrote down in the description. And you can go down below if you didn't grab a piece of paper. You're not taking notes right now, but if you're taking notes, this would be a good time to write these down. I'll try to read them a little bit slow because these would probably be the most important for the Docket. But you can always go back down in the description below and click on the link, and you can read this description as well on windowcleaner.com. One good tip from Sörbo himself is to use a layer of electrical or scotch tape on the aluminum straight edges recessed groove, the part where you push your rubber into the Docket. This trick reduces the width of rubber removed for every cutting to extend your blade's lifespan further. Before you start sharpening a rubber, make sure it's tightly butted up against the Docket's LHS stopper. If not, you'll get what's called a ski slope on the blade's tip. Teflon-coated blades will work best for the Docket. Using cheap blades might potentially affect the product's performance and make your rubber inefficient. I have never used this product. I would love to hear your feedback. If you have, I have seen this, but I don't know anyone who uses this, so if you do, please share your feedback. All right, now it is time to spin the second prize wheel. Are y'all ready to spin and win? I really appreciate each and every one of you joining tonight, and I hope you're learning something new about these tools and something new about Sörbo. I really appreciate all y'all listening and commenting live right now. Let's spin the wheel to see who's going to win from WCR. Congratulations out there to the second person to answer that correctly. You had to have spelled that correctly. It should have been pretty easy. We've talked about these tools the past few weeks, so if you've been watching it all the past month, you should be able to answer these questions pretty easily. So who do you see in the comments right now that answered that correctly, and make sure they spelled that correctly? Second. So who answered that second correctly? You have won the prize from WCR. Make sure to email me at joshuathewindowcleaner@gmail.com. Make sure to send me your address so that I can send that out to you. So when you email me, just go ahead and send your address. You can just send your address if you want, and then I will get that prize out to you immediately. Normally, I ship out the following week. So if it's Friday now, normally it goes out by Monday or at latest Tuesday, just depending on what we have going on. But make sure to use these products and leave a review on windowcleaner.com. That really helps other window cleaners know how other window cleaners' experience have been with these products before purchasing them. All right, last Sörbo tool for tonight on Tool Time. Oh, yeah, by the way, this is what you won. You won the A1 hard water stain remover. Congratulations, but please make sure to email me. All right, last Sörbo tool for tonight on Tool Time is the Sörbo Twin Ledge Angle. Okay, so this tool here you see. Perfect. All right, let's read a little bit about the Sörbo Twin Ledge, and then after this, we'll go over to our live show. Make sure to stay tuned in and go back to my channel after this show and go to the live show. This is actually a pre-recorded show every week just in case my internet crashes or something like that, and y'all still have a show and you still do giveaways every Friday night. I normally record this a few days prior to Friday, so just make sure to go back to my channel as soon as this is over and go to the Off the Clock show. So, all right, cool. Let's read a little bit about the Sörbo Twin Ledge Angle. The Sörbo Twin Ledge Angle was developed to perfection for cleaning solar panels, atriums, and other deep set or hard reach windows and surfaces. To ensure a more flexible rubber, be sure to always insert the rubber blade into the second adjustment setting of the Sörbo 3x4 squeegee channel. What they're talking about is if you have a Sörbo channel and you're not familiar with the Sörbo channel very well, if you look on the side of your squeegee channel, you'll notice that it has like 4 little notches. So if you go to the second notch, it makes your rubber a lot more kind of flexible. Good way to put it. But worried about framed windows? No need, because you can get every inch of a framed window and more with this tool. With this twin ledge angle, you'll never have to juggle with both your washer and squeegee. Thanks to the double sides, you can insert both. Just scrub, flip, then squeegee. In addition, it's also compatible with any Sörbo extension pole or any length of telescopic extension pole. Grab yours today at WCR. Product highlights: double-sided, fits any Sörbo extension pole, holds both your scrubber and washer and a squeegee. So I guess this is kind of very similar to the backflip. If you know what the backflip is, this turns your Sörbo squeegee and your Sörbo washer into pretty much a backflip, so you don't have to worry about it. I have never used this tool, but it looks very solid. I wanted to ask y'all if you have used this, so please share. I've never even seen this tool. When I saw it, I thought that was cool. I'm going to have to bring this one up on Tool Time to see if anybody else has tried it. So if you have, please share your experience with us in the comments below. I am very curious. Okay? All right, if you would like to try any of these tools out, you can go to the description below and purchase them from WCR. If you buy them from the link, it does support the channel here for giveaway night, and I would really appreciate that. But that wraps it up for tonight on Tool Time and giveaway night tonight. Thank you so much for your time, support, and your thumbs up on this video. I took the number off of there, so it doesn't matter if you truly like this video, you truly like this show, give it a thumbs up so you can see more content like this. If you don't like it, or you can give it a thumbs down and you won't see more content like this. If you want more tonight and you're watching live right now and you have time to join me, please stay for the after live show called Off the Clock. For more off the clock topics, we will be talking about life and business experiences, cash prizes, and a ton of fun with the physical prize wheel. And make sure to donate if you want to win the cash prize and get your name on the spin wheel. You can also go down to the description below and see my Venmo and my PayPal. You can donate through that way if you want to throw your name up on the live. The way it works is everybody sends money. Every week they send donations, and then it just keeps piling up. And then every Friday we spin for that pile of money, and whoever's name is on the board and wins all that money. Right then, I sent it to them on the show and everything. So you can go back to those shows and see how that works. But make sure to donate if you want to win the cash prize and get your name on the spin wheel. When this is over, go back to my channel and go to the Off the Clock episode 32 on my channel. I'll see you there in the comments. Peace out.